Hey guys, it's Ricky from Techbuds Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us. It is 8:59 today. It is July 3rd, 2016. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the group know that we are about to start. So let me see if I can post it. We are about 1 minute early. Let's see. I'm going to put it on our group me. All right. So kind of just to get you guys started. So today we're going to be talking about okay. So I just sent out the link, so that should be pretty good to go. If you guys have any questions, please, you guys could either comment here on the YouTube video, but I would suggest commenting or kind of messaging me on the Facebook, or on our Facebook page or on the GroupMe page if you're already on TechBuds. So pretty much what we are, it's a group. I kind of just teach them how to trade penny stocks, not only penny stocks, but long-term stocks. And we kind of try to implement the best strategies, to minimize loss and secure our gains. So when it comes down to it, at least for what we're really trying to focus on as of now, is a 10% gain and a 5 to 10% loss, just kind of so we can secure our gains. So what that means is keeping everything very realistic. So the only reason we are going to trade is if we see a 10% potential within the stock. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. We're going to be going through technical analysis within different stocks that I feel that have some potential within the week if they drop to a certain price, and stocks that are already at a certain price that I feel have 10% potential. So pretty much what I do, I have a list. It's not very organized. It's kind of just a list of stocks that have potential at that moment, at the current moment, and potential stocks that if they drop, they're kind of close to their current price. If they drop, then they have a 10% potential within that stock. So I'm kind of just gonna run through it. So what I usually use to trade, I use my phone mainly. I do technical analysis the night before, so when it comes to actually actively trading, I already know where I'm going to buy. I already know where I'm going to sell within a stock, and I think that's the most important thing when it comes to trading: understanding what you're trading, understanding where you're going to buy and where you're going to sell. Because let's say you're just buying Eagle, and you hope that it goes up based on it going up to $1, and you're buying, pretty much it going up already. It's going up. It's going up. You're buying at, let's say, that 90 cents. And you're the ones that don't know how to trade, so you get stuck at the top. It drops back down to safety net around 50 cents. And because you don't know how to trade, you're stuck with a stock that it hits, $1 maybe once or twice a year. And for those, who trade, end up selling, within a couple of weeks because they don't really understand what they're trading. So first thing is, like, try to really understand what you're trading. If you don't know, if you have a question, reach out to me. So there's going to be a link down below. You guys can join us for free on Facebook. And right now we're sitting about, like, I believe 95 members on Facebook. And that's great. And then on our GroupMe we have about 60, I believe. So I'm just really excited. It's been a lot more active within our group. We have people from different ages, and that bring so many different points of views that I believe is very helpful. I've actually been introduced to different stocks that I never knew, or I would have never, discovered if it weren't for this group. So, I'm very thankful. And I kind of don't want to waste your guys' time. I know it's Sunday. I know tomorrow's 4th of July. So I'll get right to it. So again, I have my list that we're going to be going through, and I'm going to leave this video on for you guys that, kind of want to, just watch this video a little bit more. So I just leave the videos on, and you guys can, feel free to navigate through my YouTube channel. So thank you guys again so much for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and make sure that everything is good on my screen to share, as in just like personal information. And again, for those who are joining us, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me on GroupMe. There's a 10-second delay. So if I'm not answering right away, I want you to know that there's a delay. Feel free to reach out to me if you guys have any questions, or just comment below if you guys aren't in GroupMe, or join our Facebook page down below. So let's go ahead and get started. I have all our technical analysis pulled up, I believe. I'm just gonna widen this one. So I try to keep it a little bit more organized, not too many, not to overwhelm all you guys. So if you guys have a piece of paper, that'd be great for you guys just to kind of jot down. So if you guys want to get a pen or a piece of paper, again, what I do is I write the ones that are currently at a buying price and the ones that if they drop to a certain, point or certain safety net, that I'm willing to buy because I find a 10% potential within it. So let's say you trade, the reason I say 10% is that's mainly what I shoot for. So if, I'm trading with $1,000, 10%, they're very pretty numbers. So 10%, that means, $100 for every trade I do. So I make $100 for every trade I do, and I tend to make 1 to 2 trades a day. That's $200 a day. For the week, that's $1,000, $4,000, $48,000 a year. That's the pretty picture, but you always have your losses, you always have bit larger gains. So to keep it realistic, I try to keep it at 10%. Not always do I hit that goal, but we keep our losses around 5 to 10%, depending on how volatile the stock is. I'm pleased with all these terms. If you guys are getting kind of just like you don't understand them, please just ask. I'd be happy to kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. So let's get right to it. If you guys want me to do a technical analysis on a certain stock, please let me know. Oh, I've actually never tried this. Let's see. Okay, so here on the screen, you are seeing DarkP, and DarkP is a one that most of you pretty much probably don't want to see if you guys were in our group, based on some of you holding from buying at 12 cents and 11 cents, just based on its history. So I'm actually going to change this and then share my actual screen because that was a weird preview. So I'm going to share my entire screen, then I'm going to go straight to DarkP. Okay, sorry about that. All right, DarkP, because this is a little bit more interactive. So DarkP right now, it's this is a 1 day. It delisted, brought it down to 3 cents. Kind of just that first second of when it gets delisted, you want to see where it kind of holds. And where it holds, that's going to be the first safety net. So right away it drops to 3 cents and it picks back up to 5 cents. There you already know kind of where a safety net and a resistance level is. If you do not know 100%, let it sit for a little bit. So within the next 3 hours, it kind of, went down, almost touched, the safety net at 3 cents, picked back up, touched that resistance level, went back down, touched that safety net, kind of jotted around, that 4 cent mark. So this is kind of the medium price. This is the safety net, and this is the resistance level. For traders, you want to buy at safety nets, obviously, because you want to buy low. By understanding that, 3 cents is the safety net, then, you're kind of understanding that, look, there being a safety net here, I would feel okay with buying here around 3.32. And you have to think about this. Yeah, I don't care about really the price. Think about the percentages. From this 3 cent to potentially, like 6 cent, what ended up closing at. For those who bought down here and sold up here, that's 100% gain. Although it only increased 3 cents, the price or the stock is only worth 3 cents. So you guys only have to think about percentages. If we're shooting for a 10% gain and we're trading a 3 cent stock, then you have to think, look, even with a 1 cent gain, we are beyond exceeding what we're trying to achieve. So with that being said, although the stock did get delisted, just make sure, look, you don't hold overnight, especially with this stock. But there really is some upward potential. So if we go 2 days, it has all this room to go back up. I'm not saying that it will. Most likely it won't, but based on some histories of some stocks, it does tend to hit back up there. And it doesn't seem like it's holding down here. It actually looks like it's staircasing up. And with that being said, I feel like this stock has a lot of potential. So with that being said, I'm going to go back to the 2 day. For DarkP, I set my alert already, and I use Fidelity for my alerts. You can use TD Ameritrade. I believe Robinhood doesn't have that feature set up yet, but try to discover an app that kind of alerts you when it gets a certain price. If not, then I will. Just join us on Facebook, and once we add you to our GroupMe, then I can kind of let you guys know that DarkP has hit that 3 cent mark. But I'm not always super active when it comes to, once I get an alert, I just go in straight to buy. Where I can set my limit order to buy. But obviously, you don't want to set your limit order to buy with this stock right away at 3 cents, just because it just got delisted, so you don't know if this safety net will be broken and I'll end up going a little bit lower than that. So with that being said, if you see it going to 3 cents and then picking back up, buy at whatever you feel comfortable, 3.5, and sell at 4. And with that being said, you can sell that within a matter of minutes. And if you're trading with $1,000, you make your $100 gain. If you're trading with $100, you make your $10 gain. But that's 10%. So if you're thinking about $100,000, 10% is $10,000. So compared to any savings account that you would ever have, you're increasing it so much faster just by understanding how to trade this. Doesn't mean that you have to trade all the time. You have to understand that it's all about percentages when it comes to trading stocks. You want to make sure you understand what you're trading, where you're going to buy, where you're going to sell. So I'm going to go back and then stop sharing my screen. So let's see if you guys can see me. Okay, perfect. So for my DarkP, on my ticker symbol, which is DarkP, I have the current price at 0.065. I put my buy price at around 3 cents. My highest will be around 3.5, and my sell price will be, at 4 cents, and at the highest 4.5, just depending on where I am. If it begins to pick back up right after 6 cents, it does have upward potential to hit that 11-cent mark. Doesn't mean that I would buy, just because, of the risk, and I'm not willing to risk that much for that much downfall. So if I buy at 6 cents and, falls back down to 3 cents, that's $500 if I'm trading with $1,000, and I'm not willing to risk all that. So I'm saying, the hold, as in if it should be a day trade or a long-term trade, this is definitely a day trade. Do not hold overnight. That's my suggestion. And how volatile is this stock? I say it's highly volatile, just based on, it recently got delisted, so there's a lot of volume within the stock. So I'd say, do not hold the stock overnight. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker within these, because that kind of did take a little bit. If you guys are going to have any questions, please feel free to message me if you guys want me to elaborate. So let me go ahead and share my screen again. Sorry about that. Okay, the next one is INVT. INVT is one of a more stable stock. It was introduced by one of our friends, Zach, which is a active member within Techbuds. So right now it's sitting right about 149. So I say, once it falls below that 140 mark, that's kind of a secure buy, just based on the upward potential. I'd say a really good buy is set my alert for around 135 if it hits that price, even though it's above that safety net. I believe 135, just has to go up 13 cents for our 10-cent gain. So I feel like INVT is definitely one that you guys should be keeping an eye for. And this one, I'm not saying that it necessarily is just a day trade, because it's not necessarily a penny stock, because it's not a pink sheet. But when it comes to this company and what it has to offer, I feel like it has a lot more to offer. It's more of a worthy company. So with that being said, I'd say buying at 130 and letting it ride back up isn't a bad idea. Would I do it? I'd just try to get in, get out at the same time. So when it hits 130, it tends to spike right back up. So be patient. Wait till it hits below 130. When it does, just know that you can buy and sell within 140, 144, just based on the history right here. So hopefully that helps out. If you guys want to write that down and then set that as one of your alerts. The next one we're going to be going to is going to be Eagle. Eagle is one that has been, fidgeting between 42 cents and 46 cents at the highs of, 48. And 42 cents, you pretty much just need like a 4-cent gain to hit your, 10% gain. So with that being said, right now it's at 45 cents. I'd wait till it hits around 43 to 42 cents. That's a secure buy based on its history. So if we go 3 months back, yes, it has gone below around 36 cents, but it tends to stay around, like it goes up, goes back down, goes up, goes back down, has a little, ups and downs. Right now it's sitting pretty low. So I'm saying, an upward spike is possible. Would I hold? No, just because this is a penny stock based on it, being below $1. So they're a little bit more volatile. So I'd feel more comfortable, just buying and selling within the same day. But I definitely think this is a good buy for all those who bought in around 42 cents. If you guys want to sell at 46 cents, that's your 10%. So again, $10,000, $1,000. You sell, right around that 45 to 46 cents. You just made your $100, and that could be done easily within one day. So be patient. Again, set your alerts around for 42 cents or your limit orders to buy around 42 cents. Once you get filled, just know that you set your limit orders to 45 or 46 cents. Please don't get greedy. There is upward potential. It's up to you if you're willing to take that risk. So for DarkP, if you guys want to jot down that is a potential stock once it hits, 42, 45 cents. And once it starts going up, you guys kind of have to make the decision if you guys want to buy just based on that upward potential. So Rex is another stock that we can talk about. Rex is one that I have written down as a potential stock once it falls below a certain price. So right now, Rex is sitting right about 70 cents, almost 71. But based, on a 10-day increment, it's been going kind of a decline, not too rapid, but what you can kind of see is right away, you could tell, I can kind of guesstimate, when it's going to spike back up. Based on when it fell down, I knew it was going to, stay above that 80-cent mark based on this history. So it hits that, comes back up, hits that, comes back up, comes back up. And within, that 5-cent gain, you're almost hitting about like 8%. So depending on how much you're trading. So, just, where to sell, comes back down, comes back down, comes back down. So now we're at a whole different stage. So when it comes down to this, I went a little bit further back based on its history. When you go back, once it was below or sub 60 cents, it tends to be, and it tends to fall when it falls that low, tends to fall and hit about 56 cents. Or at least above 60. So with that being said, I'd say, at least for Rex, a secure buy would be around 55 to 60 cents is what I would buy in. And I would sell within 60 cents to 66 cents. I'd definitely say this is a day trade. Yes, it does have huge upward potential. I really do think this was a pump and dump. But it does tend to happen quite often. It does break that $1 mark. It's up to you if you're willing to, take that risk. But again, be patient. Wait till it hits your price of 55 to 60 cents, and just know that you have potential to make at least 10% of whatever you're trading with. So that's really exciting. So let's go ahead and move on to THLD. So these are stocks that had great weeks. A great week for the previous week. So this one was hitting lows, and I spoke about this one, maybe 2 to 3 weeks back, and one of our members, John, just messaged us, be like, that he traded this just based on it hitting lows. So it was really great for him to, have discovered that. I saw it, but I was kind of just scared because it went too low based on its history. So it actually, hit almost, that 55-cent mark and almost dropping down to, half the price. Kind of scared me, but you just, depends on how much you're willing to risk. So based on a 10-day increment, right now it's sitting at highs of 70 cents. I went a little bit further back, and I can see that based on its history at 70 cents, that is at its resistance level. So most likely with this upcoming week, we're going to see it start to decline. If not, then it's going to start shooting back up. And this is an area that is unknown. So for me, I do not feel safe trading above 70 cents based on there being no history, since it just had a huge, decline, and then there might be a huge spike, but most likely not. So I'd say, be on the lookout for THLD. Set your, your alerts when it comes down to around 40 cents as a secure buy. And 35 cents is a really good buy, and then 30 cents is like the lowest it's ever gone. So, just understand that. So for THLD, this is on a potential stocks once they hit a certain price. Right now it's at 70 cents. And my buy price would be around 35 cents, and my sell price would be around 41 cents for THLD to, secure my 10% gains. Is this a hold? I'd say no. This is definitely a day trade based on this being a penny stock. And how volatile is this? I'd say this is highly volatile. So I'd definitely not hold this overnight. This is now GILL, so I'm going to kind of change the settings here. Just candlesticks is what I tend to like. GILL, I actually looked into this one a little bit more, and this really surprised me. Like, I did not see this. This was trading about $2, and boom, right to 40 cents. So, based on its history, you really don't have, too much history. The reason you know that, well, based on this, what you can see is that there's going to be somewhat of a resistance to break this point. Once it breaks this, then it'll come back on track with this. So, you know, this was an old safety net, right? It picked back up and then boom, it just dropped. Now this is a new resistance level. Once it breaks around that 60 to 70 cent mark, who knows? It could spike back up, but most likely, I think just based on this being new, it's going to tend to spike back down. So that's why I put it on stocks to look out for and stocks to buy. So within a 10-day period, I'm going to put it, well, let's do 2 days, just so we have a better understanding. I'd say, you know, secure buy obviously is at the lowest. I really don't think it's going to go that low. But just so you guys understand, safety net's right about 35 cents. I'd say a good buy still is within this margin of 45 cents. Just, you know, understand the risk. I'd say 40 cents to 45 cents. I'd just, you know, put it a little bit lower, try to kind of get used to GILL, but there definitely is upward potential. And then obviously 10% of the 40 cents, so around 45 cents, as you can tell. This is kind of a resistance level right about there. It broke it, went back up, then hit this resistance level at 65, 66 cents, went back down, and it's going back up. And, you know, we'll see this upcoming, well, I guess tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow morning, I believe the stock market's closed, but then we'll see a big drop. And then that's, you know, we'll buy in. So set your alerts around, I'd say set your alerts once the stock goes below 50 cents, just to kind of alert you that, hey, look, now it's in the game. And then if it continues to fall, just know that these are the safety nets and kind of set your limit orders according to that. Make sure that you guys set your, you know, let me stop sharing the screen. Okay, just make sure you guys set your limit orders to buy according to the safety nets and set your limit orders to sell according to the resistance levels or your 10% gain potential. So when it comes to these stocks, if you guys see exactly where you're buying and then you calculate, you know, like 10% of 40 is 4 cents, so at 44 cents, it kind of has a resistance level right about 40 cents because, you know, investors like pretty numbers. So 10, 20, 30, you know, 40% are numbers that they tend to go for. So even if it's, you know, not really a resistance level and it hits, you know, that 10% point, it tends to struggle to go above that. Just because people just want to secure the gains. Once you're disciplined when it comes to trading, you're more likely to succeed. So if I can tell you, like, you're investing $1,000 and you're not holding overnight, and you control your stop loss, which means if it goes below 10 cents, you sell no matter what. That's the hardest thing, even though if you think the company has so much potential, if it hits a certain point and you know that's your stop loss, that is where you want to secure that if it goes below 10% of a loss, you need to sell to secure your gains, then you need to do it. By doing that, then, you know, you really improve your chances of making money, because we're all here to make money when it comes to trading. And although it sounds dumb, although it sounds like super basic, you just need to be disciplined when it comes to trading. You need to know where you're going to buy, you need to know where you're going to sell, and you need to understand that we are here to make money. So when it comes to selling a stock at a loss, it's better to lose, you know, $50 than, you know, it getting delisted, you holding overnight, and then you lose half of your money. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for joining us. I'm gonna stay around and look at the comments to see if there are any, and then I got a couple messages and kind of go through those. I have about 8 minutes left. If you guys have any questions you guys want to ask me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys would like me to take a picture of kind of my notes for this upcoming week, tell me and I'll post it on our GroupMe. And again, these are just suggestions that I'm willing to share with you guys. You guys make your own, you know, technical analysis, whatever you guys feel comfortable buying and selling at. This is just what I've discovered. And please, if you guys feel like you guys have ever been interested in, you know, like trading any type of stocks or investing overall, I mean, trading stocks is something that this group mainly focuses on. But, you know, I'm trying to expand what we're doing. So real estate is actually a big part of what I'm trying to do right now. So I have one investment property, working on a second and possibly a third one by the end of this year. And, you know, I'd love to share with you guys like what it is that I overcame, some hesitations, and kind of the process in doing so on buying houses, you know, at age 20. So that's when I bought my first house. Right now I'm 21 years old, and I'm trying to make decisions that are gonna like benefit my future. So like selling my Nissan GTR, although I love the car and I love the performance of the car, being realistic, I know houses and investment properties are going to make me a lot more money and are going to appreciate rather than depreciate compared to the enjoyment that I'm going to get off the GTR. So at the moment, I feel like I can kind of I should be focusing on my capital and all my knowledge into stuff that's going to make me money rather than stuff that is just going to make me happy at the moment and then kind of cost me more later on. So yeah, let's see. And if you guys just want to share what you guys are doing for 4th of July, feel free to share. Okay. So a safety net. So if you guys saw, a safety net is like the point where a stock struggles to go below, and a resistance level is where a stock struggles to go above. It doesn't mean that it won't go below. It doesn't mean that it won't go above that point. It just means that it struggles to go below and above it. So when it comes to trading, it's all based on histories and trends. So by understand the lowest history of a certain stock, then you can kind of determine that, look, Eagle at 40 cents is the lowest it's ever been. So once it hits 40 cents, that is a good buy. And secure your 10% gains, 4%, 44 cents. Once you get filled at 40 cents, set your limit order to sell at 44. It'll hit that right away. Out of $1,000, you'll make 100. Out of $100, you'll make $10. Out of $10, you'll make $1. It's all about It's all about percentages and margins and being realistic. So right now, I'm trying to work with my little sister. She is 15 years old. We're going to start her out with $500, and our goal for her is to hit 10%. And with her hitting 10%, within a couple of months, we want her to be making $200 a week, which is very realistic because of the account that we're going to be growing for her. So I want her by age 20, just to continue this 10% gain, to be able to have, our goal is $200 for the next $200 a week for the next 5 years. So by age 20, for her to have $50,000. I feel that's very realistic. We kind of have a whole game plan for her. And yes, 5 years is a really long time. A lot can happen, but there's definitely a lot more potential when you start young. And even if you're a little bit older and you want to start now, there's never a bad time to start. When is it bad to start making a little bit more money? I don't want to say this is a get rich quick scheme, because we definitely do not make large amounts of money. Everything that I make here, I kind of put into my savings or my investment portfolio, and then with that, I use it to buy investment properties. I use it to buy nice cars and stuff that makes me happy, and be able to enjoy stuff that I do and can kind of benefit my future. So we each have something that inspires us. We each have something that kind of makes us work harder. So discover that for yourself. Realize what your goal is. By understanding what your goal is and kind of going for it and setting up a game plan, that is the only way that you are going to get there. If you say you want to be a millionaire, but you don't know how much it takes monthly to be a millionaire, then most likely you're not going to be a millionaire based on you not understanding. Yes, you can get lucky, but most likely you won't. So I actually got a question. It says, how can you tell when the stock is being traded as a pink sheet? It actually tells you what kind of stock it is if it's a pink sheet. So when it gets delisted, the reason that Robinhood, which is the app that we mainly use to trade, doesn't trade those stocks, it's because those are pink sheet stocks. So even if they're at 10 cents or 5 cents, that a Robinhood will still trade them unless they're pink sheets. Pink sheets, they are removed from the three major like NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and then the other one, S&P 500. So when it comes to that, yeah, that's pretty much how I determine. Pink sheets are a lot more volatile, a lot more risky, but they are definitely the ones that can kind of make you the most money. But when you're starting out, you just want to shoot for the percentages. Again, 10% is the golden number that I try to shoot for, and realistically, I'm more than satisfied. I make about I tend to make $100 to $200 for every trade I do. And within a week to 2 weeks, I can be making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and that all goes to my savings. It's not money that I need. And when it comes to buying an investment property, then I kind of take that money out. It's money that I made off of this. I get a network with all you guys and help you guys make money. And it's really benefited me at the point where I am today, and being able to just kind of not have to worry. I'm obviously like I feel so blessed for everything that I've been given. I mean, it's not like anyone's helped me at this point. My parents are very supportive when it comes to, as in giving me advice, but when it comes to money, they don't support me whatsoever. So that's a really big like misconception of what people perceive of me. It's did everything all because of my drive to want to be successful. And I started with nothing. I started at age 14. So yes, it's about 6 years from when I started, but if I can do this and started from nothing and didn't know anything, within this group, I feel like the larger we grow, the more people that we kind of allow into this group or join this group will increase our potential to expose us to just possibilities. I feel like when it comes to innovation and when it comes to being successful, you have to be open to ideas. You can't think you're smarter. I don't think I'm smarter than anyone. I actually think I'm a lot dumber than the average person just because no, I don't think I'm dumber. I just think, I don't like to underestimate anybody. I feel people have a lot to offer. And if they don't, then, you kind of just you don't join, like, you just don't socialize with them, right? You don't join groups with them. So Techbuds is a group I created to help everyone, to help myself, to help you, to help whoever's in this group, and it's to help one another. I want us to be throwing ideas about stocks, throwing ideas about investment properties, about cars. Everything has so much potential to make us money. I feel the more we expose ourselves to these potentials, the more aware and the more likely we are to make money. So how can you make money? This is a weird story, and I'm sorry. It's at 9:30. It's 9:30 already. So we'll end this real quick. But my roommate, his name's Joel, and he exposed me to the potential of like printing company. I did not know the printing industry was a multi-billion-dollar industry. And once I was exposed to that, there's so much potential within that market, although it's kind of monopolized, but by the huge companies, there is that's a market segment that I did not know anything about. And by kind of just talking to him and seeing what he's doing and what his major is, I exposed myself to the potential of being able to make money in the printing industry. So when it comes to us having 100 people, that's 100 different minds that we have to work as one to help each one of us. So yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense, but I hope it kind of does. But thank you guys again so much for joining us. Or joining me. And I hope you guys have a fun and safe 4th of July. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Please join us on Facebook. Again, the link is down below. I do want to give a big shout out if you guys haven't watched it already. We test drove the Porsche GT3. One of my buddies was thinking of buying it. And it was all thanks to Sandrina of Mercedes of Scottsdale. So you can go ahead and click on the video. It's going to be, if you guys want to subscribe, it's going to be on my channel. And it was a really fun video to edit. We're going to have another one of a Mercedes GTS. So that's going to be really exciting as well. So I'm going to leave this video playing. If you guys want to do a little run through again of everything that we spoke about today, I'd really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am scheduling calls for different members to kind of get you and set goals for each one of you. And I'm really excited. So I really want to see what you guys have to offer. Again, it's free. You guys can join us on Facebook, so it is free to join us. It is free for everything that I'm doing. I mean, I really just want to be a part of your success. And I'd love for you guys to be a part of mine, because I definitely think that once you surround yourself with successful people, you're more likely to be successful, or at least like-minded people. So there's nothing wrong with talking about stuff that's going to make us money. So thank you guys again for joining us. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You guys can reach out to me at techbuds@mail.com, or also join us on Facebook so you can learn how to trade. Thank you guys. Happy early 4th of July, and take care. Be safe.